Today's the day I have a go at plastering this. So in the last video you probably saw us board it, which didn't go too terribly bad. It could have gone better, but you know I did explain why it could have gone better. But yeah, today's the day I go and plaster this. Now I've done little bits, so I started patching the chasers in, you know, down there and whatever. I mean, this is a different ball game, but in a sense, I feel it could be easier because when you're doing chasers, it's only a small area, and sometimes you struggle to get in, and you know where to put the trowel. You've got the boxes and everything. Whereas this, it's like a big flat surface. The other thing is it's on the ceiling. Ideally, could have probably done with starting on a wall first. So I have done little bits before. And then, like a lot of things in construction, it's about applying knowledge from one thing and transferring it to something else. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I did say in the last video that because this is our own house, this is the only reason I'm attempting this. I would never go and do it in, say, a customer's house on a job. It's just, you know, I stick to what I know. But I think one of the thrills of a renovation for yourselves is doing as much as you can. So yeah, we can all see how it goes. It could go one or two ways. It can either go, all right, I'm not going to say very well because I doubt it will, or it can go horribly wrong and it has to come off and be done again. And I've wasted like 50 quid in materials. So yeah, watch me try and plaster a ceiling. It should be fun. Right, I don't know how that looks on camera, but that's the first coat. Ignore that. First trowel and I dropped half of it on the floor. I suppose when you don't do it day in, day out, you know, for the first sort of half of it, you're just getting a feel of what you're doing. As I sort of got towards this end, I started to get more of a hang of it. It's by no means perfect, but it's only the first coat, and from when I had a little go at Building Careers Live. It's John from A&E, is it? He gave me a few tips, and he just basically said the first coat, just don't worry about it, just get it on, get it somewhat there, but don't worry, like there's a bit of a bump here, but that'll come out when I do the second one. You might have seen me, I went over, so I started in this corner, I worked that way, and then when I came back I come across this way just to try and flatten it out. You see here the edges, I'm not worried about that. I've already said we're having coving, so it's, you know, the edges is going to cover that. I'm just now going to wait for it to start to go off just slightly, not too much. I mean, that is probably about ready for the second coat actually. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go around, get the snots. Yeah, that's starting to what you call pick up. I'll just go around with I haven't got a small tool as they call it, so I'll just use this old pointing trowel and just scrape some of this shit off, because what I don't want is when I go over with the second coat to drag this in, because it will make a mess. That I do know. So yeah, I'll go around, I'll do that, and then we'll put the second coat on, and that has to be, doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, from what I was told, because it's still wet. It's when you go over and trowel it up, that's when it needs to be perfect, but the second one needs to be closer to perfect than the first. So yeah, don't think I've done too bad to start. It can go downhill though. So I'm not getting my hopes up just yet, but so far I'm happy. Yeah. And there we go, that's the second coat on. Now, I think I might have mixed it a little bit too wet. I made an absolute mess, but hey, if you think back to if you're in the trade when you were at college, just like when I did bricklaying, we made an absolute mess in his first year, you know, around where you were working. It's just one of them things, and it'll be the same for plasterers. I imagine quite a few plasterers will probably watch this and they'll probably give their 2 penneth worth, but I think for my first attempt so far, I don't think we're doing too bad. Now I've smoothed it off a little bit there. I mean, there's little bits. I don't know how well it picks up on this camera, but you know, a little bit there, and it's not. It's flat, but it's, you know, there's a few lines in it, but this is why we trowel it up. So it's, the minute it's still a bit, you can still mark it, which means it's too wet. Over here where I started, it might be getting somewhere near. See that? It's still marking. You know, I might leave it like 10-15 minutes. I mean, I've got to go around and get the snots anyway, and then I'll trowel up. But yeah, I think so far it's not too bad. I mean, we'll put a level on it after, and we'll see how flat it actually is. But is there a saying, something like, if it looks okay, then it's okay? Like I said, I'm not ever gonna go and do this in a customer's house. But I think for my own house, if me and Holly are happy with it, then what does it matter really? I mean, I'm a perfectionist. Anybody that knows me, especially when it comes to like bricklaying, I'm a perfectionist. So I do want this to be right, but I will have a bit of leniency with this, with it being my first time. But I think I'll get it something like. We'll see. This was really hard to do and film at the same time. Well, it's hard to do anyway, but this is like the final stage now. I think I'll probably just have to go over it one more time, but you can see we're getting there. Just pulling what they call the fat off, which is like this really creamy sort of stuff on the trowel, and you just see that, and then if there's any little ripple like that there, you just put that in and flatten it out. And that's the process really, or that's what I think anyway. From what I've seen other people do. I think it's going to be by no means perfect, and what's the word? I won't win no awards for it, but like I said earlier, I think if we're both happy with it, then what does it really matter? So yeah, I'll get this finished and I'll show you the end result. And there we go. Done. Boss is here. How do you think I've done?
I think you've done a good job considering you're not a plasterer.
Yeah, definitely make a better bricklayer. I don't think it's too bad. Smooth. There's a couple of bits like there, and there was another one. I can't find it. Oh, it might have been down here actually. Yeah, there. It's a bit rough, but I think for a first attempt at doing a ceiling, plastering a ceiling, I think it's alright. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Right. See what it looks like when it dries.
Yeah.